I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Well, we thank you very much for joining Bravo Zulu Radio. This is Riley Davison, and today I have a very special guest that I wanted to introduce you to. He is the president and CEO of Varney Speaks. This is Don Varney. Hello, sir.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, sir. Thank you for asking. All right, so I just wanted to touch base. You are an elaborate speaker, and so go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you've spent the last several decades doing.
That will be fun. About 5 hours. Not primarily. I do professional speaking. I do keynotes as well as business consulting. I'm a multiple business owner here in San Antonio, so I spend a little bit of time staying in business so that I can share my thoughts and information with business owners around the country or locally is where I prefer.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing as far as professionally goes.
And I see that you're a veteran.
Yes, spent 12 years active duty in the Air Force, and I started off as a transportation specialist, moved over to being an aircraft maintenance specialist, and then NCOIC of a large maintenance training facility before I became a recruiter and eventually a master instructor at the recruiting school.
Oh, there's where the speaking comes into play.
Boy, it does. It's really funny because when I decided to become a recruiter, I was actually running the training department for all the field maintenance squadrons, which are part of the aircraft maintenance section. And a lot of the young people coming in, they were saying, hey, my recruiter lied to me. And I would chat with them a little bit, come to find out the recruiter really didn't lie to them. You know, it just seemed like something that everybody was saying at that time.
Right.
And, you know, I thought, you know, wonder what this recruiting thing is. And I volunteered, got selected, and no one bothered to tell me I had to give a speech on my second day.
Oh, wow.
And it was really kind of fun because you have to realize I was in maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
To give you an idea of how much I wanted to be in front of people.
All right.
So they basically gave us a big plan, and the next day we came back and you had to deliver an inspirational, motivational, extemporaneous speech. We got failed.
Oh.
The guy was so cute, the sergeant that actually did the grading. He basically said something wrong was unsatisfactory on the end of the class. So when I walked up to him after the class, he kind of looked at me very stoic and said, that was absolutely the worst speech I've heard in my life. I strongly suggest you get on the next plane and go home.
Oh, wow.
And that was the right thing to say to me because I've been a competitor my whole life.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, no, I'm not going to quit. You're going to kick me out, but I'm not going to quit. Basically came back the next day and did a great job and ended up doing a wonderful job at the school. And then when I became a recruiter, I became a top recruiter in the nation and was selected to be one of 13 of the instructors at the recruiting school that told me you should go home.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So you had the opportunity to tell some other people that later on.
I've helped a lot of folks over the years. I do executive speech training,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of them they say the same thing over and over again. I can't stand up in front of a group and talk. I'm too scared. I can't do it. They come up with 100 reasons that I tell them my story, and after I tell them the story, I can't look at them and say, so what's your excuse?
Right.
Nobody's grading you.
Right. Right.
It's really been for a great career. The Air Force recruited the 8 years that I've been in the recruiting service. Absolutely gave me a career
Uh-huh.
after leaving the military.
That's awesome. So my father, as I was growing up, I would work the swing shift with him. I would take my 3-speed bicycle, and he retired from the Air Force, and I would, and they would never allow these things to be done today. But I would take my 3-speed bicycle going up and down the hangars. He was an aircraft inspector, Yeah, so I remember. I think one of the most beautiful things in the whole world is to see those big babies up in the air, and you can't imagine what keeps them flying.
I know it's really something. I specialize in anything that has two or more engines. So I work on AC-135.
Uh-huh.
And the B-58 Hustler. A lot of people don't know about that one.
Oh wow! Do you want to mention it real quick? I've never heard of it.
Well, the B-58 was a supersonic bomber that was painted, and it was a Delta-Wing aircraft. It was the fastest airplane in the world at one time, setting a land speed record from New York City to Tokyo and return. And basically, the plane was made to be flown. But when I was, let's see, I was at Bunkerville Air Force Station. They were still there. And about 3 years in, the cockpit started separating from the fuselage.
Oh wow!
So after they did a lot of checks, they come to find out that the stress was so great on that aircraft when it would turn on the power that it literally was pulling the plane apart and they flipping out of service.
That's incredible.
One aircraft is worth Googling and looking at it and seeing what they've got. Here at the old Kelly Air Force Base,
Uh-huh.
was have Reese Lightning, which was the name of the plane that did that, which was one of the planes that I worked on. And it's sitting over here with the old Kelly Air Force Base in San Antonio.
Uh-huh. I've been there many times.
So if you ever drive down the main road going in, coming off of 90,
Uh-huh.
to do that, you'll see the B-58 sitting on the right side. I've been in the cockpit of that aircraft.
Wow.
Kind of cool to see that.
I'll bet it is. Now, and you mentioned something, and I'm going to use that as the perfect segue for really what I wanted to talk to you about today. And you mentioned the fact that the cockpit started to shudder loose from the fuselage because of the incredible stress. We've got a lot of people out there now today because of what's going on with COVID and with the other economic pressures. There's a lot of stress out there. I want to hear you talk a little bit about that. What you're telling business folks, what your advice is to people.
Well, primarily, I'm a huge believer in being a motivational speaker. My goal in life is to be positive.
Right.
And positive, what I call it, is realism. And the thing that I've been telling everybody, starting with myself, was this will end. I think we live in the greatest country in the world, which tells me that our scientists, our doctors, they're going to figure out in a very, what I consider, reasonable amount of time to how to stop it, how to get this pandemic under control. First thing, as we know, is go in, consider yourself quarantined if possible, and do the right things while we're working to get the solution. One of the things that I've had to do personally is I like exercise. It's something I enjoy, and I like being outside. And you can't get around a lot of people, so I've developed a modified exercise routine for myself, as well as riding on the bike every day.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of funny. I'll go in and make coffee in the morning, and I start my day with push-ups and coffee. As the coffee's warming up, I basically lean against the counter and I'll do 7 push-ups.
Uh-huh.
And then while I'm still waiting, I'll drop back and do squats. Now I'm 73 years old,
Uh-huh.
so it's not like I'm some young guy that can knock this stuff out. But being active my whole life, I want to stay active
Right.
as long as I possibly can. So that's just one of the things that's kept me mentally going, because I'm thinking of the things that you can do.
Right.
I tell business owners, listen, instead of worrying about what you can't control, figure out what you can. And that's what you need to spend your time. You have to make hard decisions with your company. Really study it, or just jump and pull off the cuff. But sit down and say, do I need to
Sure.
And, so many businesses that get into them, they start growing, they spend their reserves.
Right.
And you look at all the restaurants, for example, across the United States that are closing.
Right.
They can't keep doors open because they have no reserves.
Right.
And so it goes back to records from the money that when you come back, you need to start stocking some money away. You can't have, just like teaching a child when they're young, with a little savings in their piggy bank. It doesn't have to be a lot of money initially, but if the first thing you take a look at and put it in here, before long, you've got a month, so to speak, a month that you can work on.
Right.
And it really is the size of the business. Some people put $10 a week in there, and that'd be a lot. Others maybe put $10,000 a week, and that would be sufficient.
Right.
I'm a realist when it comes back to the size of the company makes a big difference.
Right.
But that's one of the things is if you can eliminate financial stress, then huge difference in being able to make good decisions going forward. And unfortunately, a lot of the folks are dealing with the financial stress now.
Right. And it's going to be with us for quite some time. Right.
And it is. There's a lot, unfortunately, that will close the doors, as I've seen here in the San Antonio area.
Right.
But the thing that I'm a huge believer in is that if somebody opens it up once,
They
what
can,
they want to do is know how to do it, they'll open up again.
right.
So they may have shut down temporarily, but I believe they'll come back bigger and stronger because of the things they learned during this period of time.
Right.
Tremendous learning time for us.
Absolutely, and we need to use it for that. That's exactly what it's meant for. So, number one lesson I wrote down while you were speaking: adapt and overcome. Number two, make tough decisions. So this is going to be a time when people are going to have to make those decisions. I know that in real estate in 2008, when we had the downturn, I was an instructor, like as you were talking about, and I started telling people what they needed to prepare for, and nobody wanted to hear it. But then when it happened, I didn't diversify myself fast enough, and I've always looked back at that and said, you know what, at a certain point I should have realized, hey, wait a minute, it's not going to pick up anytime soon. I need to go ahead and diversify. I did eventually went into insurance, which is kind of where you were when you said develop a reserve. Then so many people don't have what's known as business continuity insurance, and they really need to have it. That's as instead of perhaps socking money away, which can be a temptation for people, and then building that reserve, they can take out business continuity in insurance, and so many people don't know about it. So
Yeah, that's one of those things that I bet you a lot of people will be open to hearing about.
Right,
Insurance
right.
agencies right now.
yeah,
Because when they come out of this, they're going to be the prime candidates for that type of insurance.
absolutely. And the statistics are that something like 80% of small businesses don't survive a calamity, and we're going to see that played out now for the next several months, if not years.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's sad to say the truth.
Yeah. So eliminating financial stress, then that not only speaks to the businesses, but that speaks to the people, the citizens out there as well. So, and so we need to actually take a look at our budgets and find out where the fat was that's now being cut out automatically, and say, okay, when we pick this back up again, let's make sure that's not a part of that the planning is done so that that's not as big a piece of it as it has been in the past.
Very true.
Yeah. All right. So if I put 1,000 people in front of you right now, what are you going to tell them? They're all looking at you. They're hungry for information. They're hungry for, okay, where do I go from here? What are the steps? What do you tell them?
So basically what I'm going to do, the first thing they have to do is they stop to step back and get a big picture instead of being caught up in a small picture and the minutiae of the details. They can take a step back, look at it, and say, okay, what am I capable of controlling today?
Right.
What can I do? What do I need? What can I put together that can get me through the next week? You don't even have to look at this month, just get through the next week and begin breaking down all the things that they need to do. The other thing is
Mm-hmm.
And they need to say, oh, is this something that in my business that I can do? Should I call somebody and talk to them? Not so much try to sell them anything, but just say, hey,
Keep that relationship.
see how you do it, and sort of keep that positive faith in front of their potential client
Right.
or their client. And one by doing that, they're going to be in control of what they can control.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of getting through any storm is you've got to know what direction to go. And
Right.
I think a lot of people need to step back and look at their
Have,
That's kind of what I would say real quickly.
have to map it out. So, and you mentioned exactly what you said was that the true meaning of long-term success, it's through relationships. So we make it through now by making sure that we're hanging on to whatever money that we can, making sure that the important things are taken care of, figure out a plan for what the next steps are. But yes, absolutely map it out and maintain those relationships that you've got with people, so that when we do see whatever the other side looks like, then we'll be able to seize the day, carpe diem. Right. Absolutely. So one of the things, I think what you saw with the recruits, and when they were telling you, hey, my recruiter lied to me, what you saw was that people hear what they want to hear. So I hope today that the people that have been listening, that they've heard what you said, and they've really taken these things to heart, and they're going to use that to grow their lives and their businesses.
Awesome. I hope so too. That's something if I were to offer a good news for anybody, it would be you can get through this. We're a great country and we have great friends in our lives and relationships, so build on it.
Right. Well, I cannot tell you how much I thank you, sir, for being a guest here on today's show. And so if I can ever do anything for you, by all means, let me know.
You bet. Thank you. And you have a great afternoon now.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.